What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Mama Knows Best, Sorta, episode 29. I'm Son, and I'm here with.
You better put some respect on my name. This is Mama Knows Best. It's Mama. Now say it loud.
Can we stop with the fake gang stuff? You're not tough. You're bougie. I mean, you've been in like one or two fights, and you're probably 0-2 in the fights
Go
that you
lies
had.
you tell.
Cause you were not tough. You 5'3", a buck 20.
No, I'm
You
five
were
four.
not tough.
I'm 5'4". You 5'3". Wait, stand up. Stand up. I wish you would. I'll be way up here. You be like, Destiny, stop holding Christian's feet up, please. Please stop holding his feet up, please.
All right, well, hey, this is episode 29, like we said. Super excited for this episode. I've been wanting to talk about this topic for really a couple of months, but was really combing through my followers, and I wanted someone that can talk about this topic that was in this community. And I had a call on my cousin Shariff to come on here. I mean, this dude is completely out of control on
I have
Facebook.
not seen him for years.
Excuse me, do not interrupt my monologue.
No, I
Stand,
have not
stand,
seen him for years. This is not your podcast. This is
stand,
not your pod.
can,
It's
can, can,
Mama Knows Best. But I
can you
cannot wait.
Can you stand down, you modern woman? Can you
Oh
stand
my
down?
God. Fine,
Please, you
fine.
modern woman,
For
can
the
you
sake
stand
of
down?
Sharif, I will fall back. You got
Well, can we? Well, let's just bring Sharif up here. Can we bring Sharif? And I'm gonna give a. I've been called out for not giving the proper introductions, even though I'm the
Okay.
executive
Okay.
producer.
Okay. Okay. There we
But
go.
I'm gonna get the introduction that you do deserve, because I follow you on Instagram and Facebook, and you are very funny. Okay, you are out of control. Okay, your Facebook posts are must. I mean, I like the Facebook posts as far as actually physically liking them. So, but don't come on here being shy when on social media you out of control. Don't do that. Cause you
Okay, I
treat your
got
you treat your social media like it's the Breakfast Club. So don't
I
come
do.
on here. Don't come on here and be shy. Speak how you
Okay.
speak. How you doing on the platforms?
Whew.
you got
You sure?
free. Yes. Mama
Okay.
knows best. Yes.
Okay. I got you. I got
Hey. Well, Mama, can you tell the audience how you know Sharif, and we'll get into the questions.
Oh my God. So his mom, I went to school with your dad.
you. Mm-hmm.
And I met your mom because we used to go to the same church together. And so it's actually so funny, a memory that I have of you. You just loved being at church in your spirit. And I remember, I don't know if you remember, it was one day Janine, which was Christian's godmother,
Uh-huh.
called you on stage and you were just up there. And what I remember is you was just free to be you. And so I hope that ties in and that comes out in this conversation. It's
Yeah.
being authentically you. And that is a moment in my 40-year-old life, still remember that moment of you. So that's how I know him. I know you. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
But we got through the introduction of Mama, and I'm gonna give you the rules of this show. You speak when spoken to. You don't interrupt me. This is about me, okay? But and I don't even want to hear you right now. Like, I'm going to introduce a topic. Obviously, as everyone knows from the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about the Black community and how they play a part in the LGBTQ plus community. LGBTQ plus community. Obviously, you remember that I am fair. We got equal representation. I'm fair. We didn't talk about this topic without having someone that actually understands the
Absolutely.
community,
Understand. Yeah.
right? And so I think it's only fair for me to toss the first question to you, cuz is, have Black people failed the LGBTQ plus community?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll say we're gonna get to it. Yeah, I would say yes. And I say that only because I can. Let's speak for myself first. I feel like for me, like you said, you met me. I was a kid. I feel like I kind of was forced into my liking, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And because a lot of the times, because, and I can only speak for black men for the most part, because we grow up around females, we tend to become feminine, but as kids, we don't know. And I've seen not only with myself, but even with, younger gay men or even, you know, older gay men, when I hear their stories, it's more so, I didn't know what I was. I was called this because of how I acted. But it's like, how do you know how to mannerisms and stuff like that? How do I know that if I'm not being taught that? If all I'm taught is don't get that dirty, keep your hair cut, keep your outfits clean, don't make a mess. That's as I get older is when I'm going to come to. And then once you put the, oh, you're gay, you're going to be gay, eventually. And I can only say for me, because I grew up with hearing that so much, it was like, well, what really is that? Does that mean?
Right.
And then that's just kind of how things play out. So even with myself, it's funny that this is a topic because I was just talking about it similar, like something similar. I don't necessarily consider, now that I'm older, I don't necessarily consider myself gay. I am attracted to, I've learned I'm attracted to personality, but most of my encounters have been with me
Right.
because it was more so of a, oh well, that's what I was called, let me go do it. And then one thing led to
Right.
another and it just happened. So I feel like you see more so of that in the black community than you do in the other races, because I know Caucasians, I know Mexicans. I just came back from Puerto Rico for my birthday. I just came back and I ran into a Puerto Rican. The same question. I'm like, how did your parents, like, what was your background? What
Right.
made you this way? Oh, well, I don't know. I'm like, you don't know. I had a great childhood. I didn't get bullied into that. My parents just accepted me. I never knew what this was until I got into the real world, as into the black community. Those are slurs that we hear at home, or those are slurs that we hear at school because you're different.
Well, you had a phenomenal answer, and my mama's gonna get mad at me because this is her point, right? I want to first off say I hear everything that you're saying, and your perspective is a perspective that I haven't heard someone articulate in the
Yeah.
way that you articulated before. But can I push back a little bit, and can I say
Oh,
that yes, there. I had to give the reason why, right? I
hmm
do think so. Let me answer the question. I do think the black community has failed the LGBTQ plus community
hmm
as far as the overall support, but we can't
hmm
ignore the why as far as, hey, I think as far as our race or our culture, right? The black community, we
hmm
are probably the one that is the most faith based. We are more soulful. So what we have been
Why you
taught,
still in my why you still in my
I stole.
answer?
I
Why
know
you
I stole
still
your
in
answer. I know.
okay.
I know I stole your answer. But I got to let Shariff respond. I'll let you take the last point. But there is more soul involved of kind of what we do. Right. We are so influential, and we are on the flip side influenced by what we know from the church. Do you understand the reason why? It can't just be like, well, we're failing, and I just want to know, do you understand the reason why?
Okay, okay. You want to just a yes or no response, or you
I
want
No,
to
no,
say?
Go
no, you
ahead,
dig
talk,
in.
yeah,
You
Okay.
dig in.
talk, yeah.
So it's funny. I was hoping, actually, I'm gonna say this. I was hoping that because I didn't want to be the one to bring church into this, so I was hoping that the door was open. I'm so glad that y'all opened that door. So, like you said, when me growing up, I was a church baby. Even now, me being an adult, I am still a church baby. Um, Even with my sexuality or with me doing what I do, I'm a minister now. So I've been able to see in church, and this is not, I know when people see this, this is not my church, this is just church in general.
No, I want you to say it. Don't I want you to say it.
In church, with preachers, singers, all of it, a lot of stuff when I was a kid, of course, you would know what was going on in the church we came up in before I did.
Right.
We were kids. Now that I'm an adult, I know a lot more stuff that I would have never expected or I would have never known. I know now. And I see this plays a lot of part why I feel like the community just failed, the black community failed us.
Okay, but you got to give an example. You kind of
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You
tiptoeing
want me to
Make
you,
around
you
it.
want
make
me
them
you want me to
talk.
hit
I,
straight?
Make
I
them
need
talk.
You want
you.
me
I
to
Make
need
them
you want me
talk.
to you
Make
want me
them
to shoot
talk.
straight?
Yes.
Make
Okay,
them
okay, let me
talk.
shoot straight.
No, hey, I
Okay.
told you. Hold on. I told you to come on my platform
You
with this
did.
bullshit.
Listen,
I
You
told you
changed
to.
it around
listen,
it.
I told you to
listen.
come on my platform with this bullshit. I told
I'm
you to
back.
come on this platform with this
I was trying
bullshit.
to hold back. I was trying to hold back as much as possible. But you
Yup.
know what? Let's shoot straight.
Let's
Let's
do
just
it.
shoot straight. Being gay in the church is not an uncommon thing.
That part.
So the problem is now that I see people put their kids on, and I thank God before I go there that I didn't. My mama, y'all were bonded, so I was around women. Thankfully,
Yes.
I see nowadays people will put their kids in the church on the nearest man that they see just so they can still do whatever they want to do, just so
Yeah.
they can have a male figure in their life,
Mm,
gay, bisexual, or indifferent, or
Come
they don't
on.
even care.
he
Like with
cooking.
me, I don't feel like it's best that you put your daughter, your newborn daughter, in front of me for a week at a time.
Yeah.
Honestly, if your daughter is still in diapers with me, I have a rule, and you know, well, you haven't seen my mom. My mom has three daughters now.
Mm-hmm.
When those are my siblings, but even then, me being a man that sleeps with men, I know what comes with that. I know
Yep.
I've worked in a school, and I stopped working in the school because I had a rule that I wanted them to follow. I don't want to take young girls to the bathroom.
Right.
I don't want to do that because I don't want it to be a stipulation of you get mad all of a sudden. Oh, he's gay. He did this to my kid. No, 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 no.
Absolutely.
Anytime I'm with young kids, I need somebody present unless we're related. I have relationships. Like I've been around y'all my whole life. So let's say Christian, you had a kid and you asked me to watch your kid, I will be okay. I've known y'all my whole life. But if it's
Right.
one of my coworkers, oh, I'm about to go to the store watch my baby. Mm-mm. I don't know
Yeah.
you because y'all give us gay people these uncle and goddaddy and brother and my friend. Y'all give us these titles for the aesthetic of, oh yes, he's gay, he's cute, he dresses me, he does this and that. But the moment I don't do something you like, or the moment you think one of your
Right.
family members are looking at me, or the moment you think one of your man is looking at me, oh, he touched my baby. Oh, he's not this. He can't be around me. So people accept gay people for what they can get from them. I
Right.
have people now, people we know, Christian, people we went to school with who I've noticed people have come befriend me. Is my boyfriend gay? I don't know. And I could know.
Wow. You
I don't
said a
know. That's not
mouthful.
I don't know. In the church, I'm
In
about
the
to say
church.
something. I'm about to say something that's going.
Preach.
Listen, I see a lot more gay men
And
than I
yes.
see straight,
Wow.
married included.
Wow. No, you said, listen, we could do a whole nother topic.
Well, I'm gonna let Mama respond to that because he was punching. He was punching.
Listen, I mean, we could take this conversation in so many directions if we want to go
Can
church
you
or
just can you just respond to the statement? I mean, golly.
okay, so for me, in regards to the question that was asked,
Hmm.
when I thought about the question originally,
Hmm.
does the Black people feel the LGBTQ plus community? I naturally would say no. And the reason, and I looked at it from two perspectives. The first one was political.
Hmm.
You know, Democrats, they support same-sex marriages. They put all these policies in place for equal rights,
Hmm.
for people to be accepted. And growing
Hmm.
up, who was Democratic? It was the Black people.
Hmm.
So that's why I would say, looking at it from that perspective, from more of a global perspective, I
Hmm.
would say no,
Okay.
because as a community, we know what it's like to feel different or
Hmm.
made to feel less than because we're not like Sally or Bob.
Yeah.
However, we brought up the church community
And that's
from
when you're
the
finished, Christian. I gotta go in front of you. The whole of what you have to say, I want to respond to what she said.
okay, good. So from the church community, yes, because what we was taught that it was an abomination. You're
Hmm.
absolutely right. When you're taking a step back, you like, well, hell, half the men in the church was gay, but you're not.
Hmm.
But I didn't really sense that until I was in an adult. And
Mm-hmm.
so we was kind of manipulated and we was trained as, oh, this is a sin or this sin is bigger than that sin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hell, you all are sinning. I mean, if we want to, you know what I mean? So
Thin is thin.
that part.
Thin is
So
thin.
exactly. So now as you know how you explain how you was as a child and as you grown up, one thing that I can say I'm speaking for me, and I'm of course I'm black and I would like to think that I'm representing the black community. One thing that I can say that I have learned is God is love and God loves. And anytime you operating out of a place of hatred or fear,
Mm-hmm.
that's anti-God.
Mm-hmm.
Period. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter the topic. It doesn't matter. It's God is love. God is abundance.
Mm-hmm.
God is this. So if you come into me as your condemnation
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to hell, this I can't respond. It's people are drawn in from that way. So
Mm-hmm.
we can talk about it, we can twist it different ways. So that's my opinion, my thought.
Well, let's get Sharif back in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I actually agree with what you're saying. So, only on one part, not even I disagree because I agree with what you said.
No, if you I want the
No,
smoke.
I'm about to separate the two because because the question, the way I look, that's why I said I was hoping that y'all brought church into this. I was hoping because that would have been able to make me bring the smoke.
Right.
If we would have brought that up, that would have made me come shots fired. So for me, I'm gonna open up a little bit. I separate the black community and I separate the church community. I
Okay.
separate those two. The black community as a whole, now that we're talking church, I will say did not feel the gays
Okay.
in my aspect because I don't know about y'all, a lot of gay men that I know are black Christian men.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the same. They're black
Yeah,
Christian men.
I will agree with
So
that.
okay, so I say now that we're talking church, let's take black out of this.
Okay. Okay.
The church felt the community,
Okay. So
and
not
I'm
so
going
they
to
not even say black church. You just saying
no.
church.
You're
The-
right. The black church felt the community. That was
okay.
better. The black church felt the community because the black church were molesting us as young boys.
Oh wow. Come on. Say it
That's
again.
where, and that's just the truth. The black church was molesting us as young boys. Any church, let's say when me, I was molested as a kid, right? I was molested by a family member. That family member is a preacher.
Wow.
I went to other churches outside of because the church we grew up in was
Yeah.
mostly women. That was the safest place I've ever felt because it was mostly women. The men
Wow.
there never I felt safe. Any church, including places I went, no matter where I went outside of there, it was even now in ministry. People even out of town will ask me to come sing. Y'all know I've been singing my whole life. Hey,
Right. Right.
come sing, come pray, come do this and that. And I've had to turn that down because my question is, what is it? What's coming with that?
Exactly.
Oh, we'll cover everything for you. Okay, but what comes with that? And I've learned what comes with that. What comes with that? Oh, you want to sleep with me? And my
Mm.
thing is, I just had because I have a worship night coming up on the 29th. Um, on March 29th, no preaching, strictly music. Just
Right.
worshiping whatever God do, that's what he's going to do. And my question is, when did Jesus just become so mean? And
Mm.
people be like, oh, God flipped the table. That's not what I'm talking about. When did Jesus just become so hateful? We always want to talk about homosexuality being the sin. And I tell people all the time, you will never hear me say, oh, I'm sleeping with this guy. God told me to do that. God didn't tell me that. You will
Right.
never hear me say God told me to do that. I know not to mix the two.
Right.
But you will never hear me okay your sin because sin is sin.
Yes.
Me overeating, people don't like to talk about that. That is a sin. If people don't want to say cussing is a sin, adultery is a sin. There's so much sin, and sin is forgivable. Forgivable. The only sin, if I'm not mistaken, and I read a lot, but I might be missing this,
Right.
is
Watch
blas-
yourself. Watch
blasphemy.
yourself.
Blasphemy.
That's the only unforgivable sin. Honestly, if I'm and that might be just here, you don't hear people even preach that.
Right.
You don't hear people preach that no more. Or not at all, honestly. Since I've been older, I've never heard anybody preach. This is the only unforgivable sin.
Right.
Now it's more so, if pay your tithes, do this. If you don't get by this, who I can't buy God.
Yeah.
But now it's, oh well, if you don't have it, you can do something and I'll still use you.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to have sex with you to be used.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to sleep with you for you to want to pray for me. I shouldn't have to sleep with you for you to want to cover my family. I shouldn't have to use my body, which is supposed to be sacred. That's what the Bible says. My sacred piece. I shouldn't have to do that. Honestly, truthfully, I shouldn't be comfortable talking to my leader or my mentor. It's certain stuff I shouldn't be comfortable doing with my spiritual leader.
Right.
But now church has become such a thing of whoever can sing the best, whoever can
Right.
dress the best, whoever's cute, whoever will make the flyer look good.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put anybody in the pulpit.
And whoever's giving the most.
Whoever,
I,
it's all about money.
So
Yeah.
I like what you've said. I mean, this is phenomenal. I mean,
Mhm.
we've totally. I apologize to Rez, the best editor in the world.
No,
The
he said
real,
a mouthful.
the real magic maker. For the podcast, but we gotta let this go. I mean, this is a phenomenal.
No,
This
we
is
don't. No, we can
no
go.
can you let me finish?
Son always thinks he knows best.
I
On my
said
nerves.
we got to let this go longer. That's all I'm trying to say. But
Okay.
we got a modern woman. I'll say the black community has empowered modern women. That's a whole different topic. Okay, they're totally disrespectful. We're looking at one right now in the right corner, mama. But like I said, I hear everything you said, and what you're saying has been enlightening. Is very, very powerful. I think the people that are listening and viewing this, they have to take what you're saying and understand it. Even if they don't agree with it, they have to understand and respect your viewpoint. You get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? The thing I would push back is, with the church, I think a lot of it, as you mature in your faith, you
Mhm,
understand the identification process, right? Okay,
mhm,
like, okay, what church fits me? You found your a church, that fits you. I know Mama's been to a place that down in Tampa that fits her. Me and my girlfriend actively looking. We think we found a place that's pretty dope up here. But what I say is, it's church is just one part of fellowship. The
Right.
mhm,
pastor is not Jesus. I think that gets mistaken, and I think also the sins that happen in church to me only makes the Bible even more clear. Right?
mhm,
It talks about false prophecy. It
mhm,
talks about again, we're not supposed to put another person on a pedestal. Now,
mhm.
it's human nature. Somebody that's pastoring, they're going to subconsciously, you're gonna look at them differently because that's your pastor. Your
Yeah.
parent, you're gonna look at them differently because it's your parent.
Uh,
Yeah, there are churches out there that are embodying what the word is saying. So I just wanted to respond to that point. I know you weren't
yeah.
saying that. I just want to put that out there for this perspective. Now let's move on to the second question, right? Because this has been a phenomenal conversation.
Yeah.
You talk
Mhm,
about because I don't want to separate the two because I think the church is so intertwined into the black community, so
mhm,
intertwined into black culture. If you look at athletes, if you look at entertainers, if you look at anything, right, even just our in most intermediate black families, the church is a powerful uh
It's a
um uh,
staple.
uh
definitely,
staple to the thing, right? So
definitely.
you talk about you feel like it's failed. So from someone that's in the community that we're talking about in this episode, how can we better support? Right? Give me when we had these type of conversations with different
Good
people.
question.
I'm not looking just to argue or have a debate. I'm
Yeah.
looking to have action steps. So give me the action steps of what people can do to better support the LGBTQ plus community.
Okay. I will say we have to everybody, even because I have my time. That the F word that is for the gay community,
Yeah.
I personally have a habit of using that word often. So we have to
What?
make it a safe. Yeah, I use it. It flies out of my mouth.
I'm about to I'm about to call the LGBTQ plus
Right. Well, you
police
know what?
and have you canceled. I'm
Is it
finna have you
different?
canceled, nigga.
I know, right? But is that different? I mean, I know. Don't lose your train of thought. But is that different with us saying the N word?
It's
They
definitely
use that
different.
word too.
And
Now,
hold
and
on, time out. It's definitely different because the N word is a term of endearment. The F word they talk about is definitely a slur. Really? We being that ignorant? I mean, you're an engineer. You that
Ignorant.
ignorant?
Nigga, you should
Really?
use the word.
Yeah, I use nigga a lot. I use that word. That's my word. But that F word, I use it as I have a habit. I am, you know, how we say people are racist.
Yes.
I am a homophobe. I'm not going to lie. I am a
This is out.
homophobe.
This is an
Hold
I
on.
am not.
oxymoron to its fullest.
Time out. Time out.
You
So
said be honest. We're gonna be
You
we're
did,
honest.
gonna
and
be
I
honest. So
love
I
your
went, hold
honesty.
on. I want to get this straight from my audience members, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
I have a member of the LGBTQ plus community on here. I
I got kicked
practice,
out of the community.
I
Plus,
practice
plus.
how to stop it. I I practice that all day to make sure that I didn't get canceled, right? And so I did
Hmm.
all this practice. I did all these things to make sure I was on point for this conversation because I
Yeah.
knew I had this. I knew I had my cousin coming in here, and he's so disrespectful. He's so out of control. So I made sure that I was on point. And you're going to tell me that you're homophobic, but you're in the community. This is some bullshit.
And he
I'm
used the
not
F.
in the
Hold on.
community.
And he
I'm in
used the
my
F
own
word.
community. I use it thankfully. I only ain't used it tonight because I don't know how y'all
So okay, so
policies
let's
is.
go off. So let's go off script. Let's go off script.
Uh-huh.
Is it a common misconception that just because you are um gay or whatever, trans or bisexual, is that a misconception that people that are one of those different identities that they're in the community? Does that bother you guys when people just lump you guys in with the LGBTQ plus community?
It bothers me. I don't know. Everybody else like, oh, we're LGBT and no. I'm straight.
Yeah. So what you know what? That's a hold on. That's a good point that you make. Like, let's even make it simple. I'm black. I love black people, but black people get on my motherfucking nerves.
Oh no.
Sometimes it's hard for me to support a black-owned business because them motherfuckers is late in sending my stuff. It's hard for me to go to a black-owned business and eat because they slow. But
They
the
slow
thing,
and they
that part.
rude.
So I get what you're saying. It's almost like, yes, I'm part of the community, but that doesn't mean the community don't get on my last nerve sometimes.
Yeah. Like you know how you can rent out a section in the club and that's yours?
Right.
I got my own section in the community. Y'all, my own section that's rented out for me. You know, it's
Hold on.
strictly me and whoever I want to let in.
Right. I got to drink to that. I'm sorry.
Listen,
And that's it. You know, it's that it. It's just I love my people, but sometimes my people get on my nerves.
looking on my
And
nerve.
it's okay. But here's the thing. I can say that I oh, you know what? Hold on. I just had a aha.
Mm.
Aha. It's kind
Hmm.
of like I can talk about my mama, but you can't talk about my mama. Or I can talk about my is it kind you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it can be I can talk about black people, but Becky, I wish you would. Becky, I wish you would.
So with that particular word, because of how I use it, I don't. I'm quick to call. Are they gonna ban me if I say the word?
No, don't say the word. Don't say the word. Don't say
Okay.
the word.
Okay.
Don't
But
say the word.
I use the word faithfully. Like I have a term. I say it faithfully. Like I hate F word.
Yeah,
I said it all the time. I hate them.
yeah,
I hate them. So when people be like, "Oh, that's a F word," I be like, "Yeah, that's an F word."
yeah.
Now, if you get mad and get to calling me an F word, I will get mad because I'm not an F word. That's not that. There's a difference. I'm not that. But when you talk about other people, I don't. You know, hey,
Okay, so
Yeah,
let's go back. So let's go back to the action steps. Give me the action steps so we can close out this episode and
yeah,
give Mama a chance to respond.
me included, we have to make it a safe space for them.
yeah,
So we can't make them uncomfortable in settings that aren't directly for them. Like they have to be comfortable, whether it's church, work, the club, the mall. We can't see them, whether it's a gay man, a gay woman, a tranny, or anything. We can't see them, but like you know how y'all know how we
right.
do. We
Yeah,
can't do that. If they like, if they see us, and they sometimes we'll have something on they like. We can't take that on as oh they're trying to talk to me ill. No, sometimes it's really like hey bro, that's I like that. What that is like
right.
I
It's
need
a
that because
compliment.
that's how I talk to people, and I could be looking at them like. Bro, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Right.
Where you get the shoe from? Like, I work at a shoe store. We don't got them. Where did you get it from? That's it. That's all. You know, stuff like that. We got to make it a safe space. And we have to stop categorizing everybody in the same, you know,
Exactly.
we have to stop doing that. And my third point, honestly, would be for the community. I need DL men to come out because I've learned that a lot of the LGBT community hatred comes from DL men.
Mm. Because they're afraid to be who they
Uh
are.
huh. So they have to go against it in public to make it look like. And in my opinion, because I've dealt with it before, I'm going to look at you more crazy because they don't even got to know we know each other.
Yeah.
We could
Yeah.
just walk right past each other.
Yep.
Like me and Chris will see each other all the time in the club, and he if I don't see him, he or in the mall anywhere he sees me, if I don't see him, hey cousin, what's up? I don't think anybody's ever said, oh, he's the
Yep.
that's my cousin. But you
Exactly.
got other niggas who, oh no, get him away from me. If I had to pull my gun out, you gonna pull your gun out in the outing, but we gonna go home together after this. It don't
Right.
make sense. Don't embarrass me like that. Living your truth. And that
Exactly.
doesn't mean just come out as a, but then again, black women, we have to make it a safe space for them as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because a
Yeah,
lot
Absolutely.
of
yeah,
women
yeah.
know, I've learned, because again, there's a reason I don't go by gay now. I'll say we're gonna put that out there. There's a reason. Women are okay with it behind closed doors.
Mm. Interesting.
Mm.
All right. So it's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
turn. I'm summing it up. So
Yeah,
I
but
need
yeah,
Yeah.
sum it up. Make it quick,
sum it
please.
up. So I've learned a lot
Mm-hmm.
in this segment. So before I get into that, what you're saying is just because I, sometimes prefer men, that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean I want you. It's kind of
Uh-huh.
like as a woman, if I'm out in the club, that doesn't mean I want every man in the club.
Mm-hmm.
So let's erase that. But it's also something that I learned that I want to say that stuck out to me in our conversation is sin is sin. I
Mm-hmm.
got a whole man over here, that, we, sorry, Christian, cover your ears. We, like that's a
You
sin.
shack you
Yes, it's
shacking
sin.
you.
Right.
Well, we know
But
you're shacking
it's,
up.
tell Destiny to get in the camera. We both checking up.
So
We
everybody
both,
on here is shacking up. Let's just say that all three
we
of us
both.
are shacking up.
So
We
so what I'm to say I'm better than you, like my sin is lesser weight
mm-hmm.
or whatever. It's no. It's listen, we all fall short. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
judging or making nobody feel less than or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And that is the goal. And then thirdly, people are people.
People are
Just
people.
because I have a different outlook or I like to wear weave, not weave, I like to, drink or I like whatever it is, like because I'm different, which to me is not different, it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not like you.
Mm-hmm.
We're, like you prefer yellow, I prefer blue.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so difficult to accept one another for who we are? And like you said, just having this conversation, I was just over at my friend's house, Brandy.
We said make it quick. I mean,
Okay,
golly, with
so
it,
my point is
golly.
love. I love my family and friends because they're not like me. I
Mm-hmm.
love their differences that we can love each other for being our unique self.
Yeah.
Period. It's really the world that put these stigmas on it to say,
Mm-hmm.
nope, this is good, this is not good, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. And
Mm-hmm.
we try to fit ourselves to conform, to whatever society or whatever is popular or whatever is
Mm-hmm.
popping at the time. So the people who I seem to be attracted to the most, when I say attraction, like not in relationship, is those who are confident and walk in their truth and can
Mm-hmm.
be authentically themselves no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Bye.
Well, I will say this. We get off the podcast. We got to edit that down. I mean, that was like a 15 minute. I mean, that was I don't. It was that was so boring. I mean, your whole monologue was so freaking boring. I
Oh
will say
wow.
this. We've had a number of memorable episodes. This is my favorite episode. You delivered. And I'm so grateful we was able to have this. out here and had this out on our platform. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on
Of
here
course.
and speaking confidently. We would love to have you on a
Yes.
future podcast. What the hell? I mean, that's a. I almost said it. I almost said a
I don't
word.
even-
I almost said a word.
Oh,
What
there
the?
it goes.
What
You
the?
see it.
What the? What
no,
the?
this has
All
been
right.
amazing.
Bye.
Bye.